Can you hear me now? All right, good. Thanks, babe. Appreciate it. All right, so yeah, like I was saying, I was supposed to be here like half hour ago, man. But I was listening to a stream by Big J. Basically, he was pretty much talking about the things that I was gonna be talking about. But anyway, so I'm doing a stream. Well, actually, I was working on some stuff on my computer, right? I was doing my budget for next year, preparing my spreadsheet, all that crazy stuff. And then I got a someone sent me a link. Should I display who sent me that link? Yeah, so anyway, so I was sent a link about this YouTuber called Woke Progressive. And then actually he wasn't the one that actually someone was commenting on a video that he made, and this guy was losing his crap, man. Holy shit. Yo, when you see someone having a meltdown, right? And it's like nothing but raw, pure emotion. Even though there's part of me that's saying that he's just doing this for attention, right? Part of me saying that he's doing this for attention, but other part of me saying that, yeah, that's he really feel that way. You could tell this is like when you take all the veneer, all the nastiness, all the crap you try to portray on YouTube, and then you get that, the emperor with no clothes. So, like, dude, this dude was talking about like he wanted to kill himself. If things are not working out for him, he's begging God to take him out of the game. And his mom died of cancer and all that crazy stuff. It's like I part of me kind of do feel bad, right? Because look, I troll people sometimes, right? Sometimes I troll. Sometimes I try to have I try to have more of a serious conversation. And mentality, man. I mean, your mental health is very important, and it's like we grew up in a generation where we're not supposed to talk about our feelings. We're not supposed to resolve our mental issues. So we just keep going through life and thinking that things gonna sort itself out, right? And then what we end up having is, because in real life where there's no one to vent out your frustration to, no one to actually talk about your feelings, your emotion, your ups and your down, no one to share that with. So because let's face it, in real life, like, do you really think a lot of these guys that be talking all greasy and stuff like that, whether it's about the gender war or whether it's about the whole racial war stuff, do you think they actually be talking greasy like that in real life? No, they don't. And now what that's the thing is, so they having all those mental issues, and then now they get online and they can actually portray this persona, they can portray this mythical creature, like, you could be whatever the hell you want to be online, right? And then these are the individual that actually end up being the, like, this guy called Woke Progressive, right? He's a douche. He is a dick. And he seems to have huge problems with interracial couples. He actually seems to have a lot of problems with, he's striking me as the type that's still, fantasizing about the ethno state, type of guy. And the thing about it though is, like, when you come across individual like this, right, that have these massive plans on, this, they have all these, they have all this animosity, they have all these idea how the world should run. It's like, well, you know what, if you are destroying the black race, if you have if you are in interracial dating, blah blah blah, like, and you're looking at it like, bruh, it's a coping mechanism. Like, it is a coping mechanism. I had a dude that, me and him, we don't speak no more, but like the last time we somewhat had a back and forth, This dude like lost his shit over like a simple debate or like a simple disagreement we were having, and then like he just like, oh, you, I'm somebody, blah. And I'm like, whoa, what the? And this is what I saw in Work Progressive when he was like, well, this is what I heard from Work Progressive when he was like losing it. And then I'm looking at it like, how many people that are on YouTube that they actually use this site? Because let's face it, right? Being on YouTube, okay, let's say you have someone like me, right? I'm not a big YouTuber. My channel is pretty small. And I just, come through here, run my mouth sometimes, like I'm doing right now, right? No biggie. But I have people that I can talk to about these things, like I have people that I'm close to. And a lot of time, right? It's like this. YouTube for me is a place where, let's say that I'm too lazy to write down my idea. And sometimes like I want to write them down, but they might escape my mind. So I just come through here and just run my mouth and say what I think. And then probably later on, as I go back to those videos and I can actually, whether do some articles about it or vlog, whatever the case may be. But the thing is, people, there's a lot of depression that goes on, right? Whether it's childhood trauma, whether it's dreams that didn't come true, whether it's failed relationship, and all these other aspects of life that has been so fucked up, right? And then now you keep thinking about it, how messed up life is, instead of actually taking the lessons that you have gotten from the downfall. Because life is harsh, man. Life is always gonna knock you out. Always gonna knock you out. But the thing is, it's not about you falling. It's not about that. It's about you having the ability to actually get back up. See, a lot of people, they are so busy, right? Just complaining. Look, I get it. Depression is nothing to play with. Depression is nothing to play with. But at the same time, some people fall in love with their pain. Some people fall in love with misery. Some people, they fall in love with the negativity to the point where they don't even know how to be happy anymore. It's like life is a bitch, but it's a beautiful bitch. Life is, life is like one of those chick, with a nice fat ass, big old titties, but she's a cunt and a half. And if you know how these bitch work, like if you know how to handle it, then no matter what the fuck this bitch throw at you, you gonna find a way. You gonna find a way to actually get the upper hand. And the thing is, like, this is my personal my personal coping mechanism, right? My personal coping mechanism is, one of the things that makes me happy is having a vision. One of the things that make me happy is actually having a goal to try to achieve. Like, and I get it. It's like when you lose sight of the question we all ask is, what am I here for? What am I put in this place for? What is my purpose? What is it I was born to do? And once you lose sight of that, and you try everywhere else to try to fulfill that void, some use sex, some use materialism, some use drugs, alcohol, like you name it, right? Because people just try to look for an escape instead of actually try to find their ways, because like you put yourself in that trap. You trap yourself to the point where you refuse to be happy because everything around you seems to be negative, you know? Because like when I see when I, this is one of the things that like it's very hard for me to sometimes sympathize with people here in the States, because even though we all have our issues, right? We all have our issues, but coming from a place where you have those, no arms, no legs, shit got blown up. Let's say the United States came through, invaded their country, carpet bomb a whole bunch of crap, and some people lose their family, you know, war torn countries like Haiti. So there's like, I see my life, and there's like so much thing for me to be grateful for. And to me, it would be like a slap in the face to tell God that, hey, God, you are a fucking asshole. Look what, you make me fat and ugly. You make me this, you make me that. I'm not the prettiest looking motherfucker out here. I mean, I'm all right. I'm just average looking. All right. But there's so much in life that I'm grateful for. To me, is like the only way for me to I guess to like I had this conversation with my sister, right? And then she was like doing some stuff. I don't remember. Like she was like trying to do too much, try to give to this, try to give to that, blah blah blah. And I'm like, well, so so why are you trying to do that for? And then she was like, I'm just searching for blessing, right? Which is, I get that part, right? You try to give to others and all that stuff, blah blah blah, right? I mean, even though there's an ulterior motive behind it, but it's like I look at it this way, right? It's like I try to help people because to me, I'm already blessed, so I'm just paying it forward. Like coming from single parenthood, and I came through. I'm a decent guy, somewhat. I'm an asshole, yeah, but I I think I have a good heart. I try to help people whenever possible. And as far as character, I had a strong mom. She was a pain in the ass sometimes, and I like to break things down to their finest, to the smallest particle, to see what they are made of. So when I look back at my life from Haiti to when we came here, why did my parents, why they did not remain together, and all these different components, and to analyze it, truly analyze it, and then like, why would I spend the rest of my life being mad at my mom? Why would I spend the rest of my life being mad at women who looks like my mom? Why would I spend the rest of my life being mad at people that looks like me, or being mad at people that looks the opposite of me because there's some sort of hatred or jealousy, or they had it better and I didn't? It is the biggest waste of time, right? Trying to compare your life with people that you don't even know. It's like when 'cause I'm not too familiar with woke progressive stuff, right? But one of the things that he does is he's very negative when it comes to interracial couple, right? Things like, oh, they're destroying the black race. Every time I see a interracial couple, I just want to walk up to them and slap both of them. He says shit like that, right? And it's like me having the chance to actually see how the other side live, right? Dude, white people don't have it any better, bro. Like all the crap that we think we have to go through as far as black people and shit like that, they go through a whole different set of problems as well. And I don't think you guys would want to deal with that. So to have that mindset thinking that, well, a person is better than you, or in a better position than you because that person is white, or that person is a different skin color and stuff like that. It's delusional. It just show you how much you don't know about white people. It just show you how much you don't know about any other type of culture. And it shows how much you don't even know about yourself. Because if you had take the time to actually get to know yourself, right, you would have learned to actually forgive yourself. You would have learned to actually even forgive others, those who actually hurt you, not because you want to forget about it, not because you want them back in your life, but because though you forgive others that have wronged you, because that's how you make sure that they no longer have any control over you. You know what I'm saying? And when I listen to this dude, right, Woke Progressive, and then like he's going on and on like how like God took his mom away and he was like mad at the world and all this shit, and I'm like part of me really want to feel bad for him, right? Part of me really want to feel bad for him, but the other part of me is looking at it like, yo, dude, is this another fucking ploy? Is this another like narcissistic way trying to garner sympathy from people, so then therefore that then give you like a carte blanche to be an asshole, you know? And it's like a lot of people do that. A lot of people do that whereas they would be a giant douchebag and then try to give you a sad story as to why they are a giant douchebag, you know? But when we're looking at it like, dude, the world don't give a fuck about your past, about your present, about your future. Life is like a jungle of mess, right? It's like, okay, when you look at a tree, right, a big tree, like the tree of life, and then you just that small little ant, and then you start climbing. You start climbing that tree and stuff like that, right? And all these little branches that spoke out, that pokes out of that tree, lead you somewhere. It might lead you to a dead end. All these side little roads, right? All these branches that actually like, deviate away from the main trunk. So you might choose to remain an upward trajectory, or you might get sidetracked to all this other bullshit that life throws at you. And before you know it, you're like somewhere in the tip of the leaf, somewhere to the side, away from your main goal. And then the wind blows, and then you just out of there without ever accomplishing what you wanted to accomplish in life, with the dreams that you had, the goals. And the thing is, like, dreams and reality is two different things. And once you learn the reality of things, then you learn how you can actually transform your dreams into reality, I guess, into goals. So why you wanted to be a lawyer? Why did you want to be a lawyer? Is it because of the title, or is it because you like to debate? So if that's the case, you can still manage to debate. You could still actually have great conversation where you have that spark about you, where you feel better, right? And it's like, I wanted to be like an artist, like a well-known artist, famous artist, and all that stuff, right? Or not really. It's more like I wanted to make a great living doing my art, doing art stuff. And the sacrifice it would take for me to get there, I was not willing to make it. But I also realized there's still other ways I can still get the same enjoyment. I can actually put myself in a position where I don't have to worry about making ends meet, and then focus that time in just doing great art. And that's the whole point of actually trying to be financially independent. Try to actually make certain sacrifices where, all right, art, I like you, but you're going to take a back seat for now. Let me just set myself straight, and then I'm going to get back to you. You understand what I'm saying? So it's complicated business, man. When we're looking at the negativity that's spilling out of the manosphere, right? Are these guys depressed? It's obvious. it's obvious that they are depressed, because no one who are actually happy would talk like that. The amount of animosity that these, or the amount of venom that these guys would actually be throwing out to the rest of the world, it's obvious that they are depressed. Women goes through the same bullshit as well. They are just as depressed. But what we have is two sets of people, right, that don't trust each other, and they are still dealing with all their emotional baggage. And instead of actually admit that, yeah, I'm fucked up, it's time for me to get some help. So they come to YouTube and they just unload and unload and unload, right? So then now what end up happening is, like, as they are unloading their frustration, they're directing it at people that don't deserve it, right? So then with that direction, so then they find other depressed motherfuckers like them, and they also just as lost as them, and they're not here to actually try to help each other elevate for whatever the situation. No, it becomes that circle jerk where now it's not about getting better mentally. It becomes about this, like, how should I put it? It's like you not getting nowhere. You are simply, circle jerking each other around with your ego, and with your mental capacity is just, it's pure garbage. It's pure shit, and it becomes a coping mechanism. That's it. Like, what are you accomplishing if you spend, if you, let's say you spend, like, okay, the last 5 years or something like that, right, being mad at women. Forget the last 10 years, the last 20 years, being mad at some chick that you knew back in high school, or some bad shit that happened to you back in the days. So how deep are you willing to go to analyze yourself to find out, okay, why am I still mad? Why am I still mad at this shit? And it's like, it's funny, man. It's really interesting to see how people just, they the for look, listen, right, this is where the part that gets me, right, because, like, a lot of time when people try to troll me and all this, and all this crap, they try to bring about things that, if they feel like, if they were in my position, they probably would be mad. Right? But here's the secret, though. Here's the secret. I don't compare myself to none of y'all. I compare myself with who I was yesterday. Yeah, I have inspiration. I have people that inspire me. But guess what? None of these people are you. None of them. It doesn't matter how you want to flash a gold watch, or be like, hey, look at that bling bling. All this crap that the materialism, the money you claim you have, or the bad bunnies, or the bad proxies, and all that shit, right? It's just another coping mechanism. Because watching the immaturity within y'all, watching the way that you guys handle conflict, or all this other crap, and it's like, it's pathetic. And I cannot portray myself, I cannot envision myself to be inspired by pathetic people. You know what I'm saying? I cannot respect that. So therefore, if I cannot respect that, so nothing that you may say to me I can take serious. I'm not going to be able to take it seriously. And if I cannot take it seriously, then how can you affect me? You know what I'm saying? It's like, this is why I usually say, like, okay, those who care, those who knows don't care. And those who care, well, how did that shit go again? Those who knows don't care. Those who cares don't know. Something like that, right? Basically, is this, right? People that are in my circle, as long as we get to inspire each other, we get to motivate each other, we get to move forward and stuff like that, right? If I need some help, they got me. If they need some help, I got them, right? My close circle, my people that I can rely on for different reasons, for different things. If, I got my clubbing buddy and stuff like that, we go to the club, we just hanging out, had a party, some shit pop off, he ain't no bitch. He gonna fight, just like me. If I have some investment idea and stuff like that, I know people that already been through it. I can talk to them. It's like back when I used to be chasing skirt, I had a group of people for that too. Right? So then it's like, what are the utilities of people in your circle? Right? And how can they motivate you, and how can you motivate them? If it's all about like, coming over here just for a circle jerk, or just like I'm at somewhere in life, now what I'm going to try to do is actually go back to my friends that's not there yet, and then just flashing off, look at you, you dumb broad, look at you, you can't do it, huh? Look at you. No, that's immature. That's like, the materialism is not gonna help you get out of your depression, right? And I was never really a materialistic person, right? What I used to do is use art as a coping mechanism in order to actually get out of my depression. And then the more I surround myself with good people, with great people in my life, like I have some of the best fucking people in my life, man. And like, I'm able to be in a state of mind where like I'm happy waking up every day. I'm happy to go to sleep every day, and I'm happy to talk to them whenever I talk to them. Like some people, I haven't talked to them for like a couple months, but when I do, it's like, it's all love. We could talk for like hours and stuff. And I continuously make sure I surround myself with good people, because these type of folks are the ones that inspire me. Actually, yeah, it motivates me to become better than what I was yesterday. And when you have a space where it's all about negativity, it's all about like, all poor me, look what happened to me when I was 15. And then all that space, all creating, it only deepens your depression. That's why you need to get the fuck out of that shit, man. Like the whole, like, it's like, it's the white man's fault, it's black woman's fault, it's politicians' fault, is this fault. Dude, you cannot live like that. You cannot live your life through someone else's eyes. You need to stop comparing yourself to what other people want. And that's the funny thing, where it's like, bro, you got to get some help. I'm talking to you, woke progressive. If you ever seen this, I don't know if you will or not, but what I'm saying, like, you gotta get some help. And like the whole pro-black bullshit you on, I know it's a coping mechanism, right? The wacky world, the OTV, Saka fit la mezami. You spell mezami wrong. It's supposed to be MEZAMI. So you got the I and the E backward. So you're doing good, man. And then with the SAC, that's supposed to be SAK, not SAC. But hey, no laneg, I've got it. The wacky world of OT. Hey. Anyway, so it's like, there are so many things you could look. Here's the thing, right? Coping mechanism. What are the things that you're doing to cope with your depression? Is the habit that you are actually getting yourself into, the hobbies that you're actually developing, are they positive or negative? If you try to get yourself a hobby or a habit that is negative, then it's only going to worsen your depression. If you are depressed, then you drink. Guess what? You're gonna get worse. As a matter of fact, then when you get drunk, you become violent because you are using a negative substance to actually cope with your depression, right? Um, if you're depressed and then all you want to do is just like fuck everything that moves, right? It's kind of funny because as you can see, it's not working, right? Because you have all these people on YouTube on the manosphere talking about like bitches this, bitches that, blah blah blah, right? And they swear they get like so many pussies, they get so many, or whatever the case may be, but yet they still angry about life. So obviously the amount of pussy you getting is not helping you get away from your depression. It's not. You could say about money, right? You go, oh yeah, I make this amount of money, I got this, I got that, I got a brand new car, I got this, I got that, and yet you're still bitter about life. Obviously the materialism is not working for your depression, right? So what is it about human, what is it about people that like it's your goal, it's your it's it's your purpose. What is your purpose? And I think once you find that out, once you find out, hey, no problem, Wacky. Once you find that out, what is your purpose in life, then you're going to start making plans to achieve those purposes. And those plans are productive. And once you become a productive person and to actually try to achieve that, you will be a way happier person, man. Because this is what that tells me about someone who actually has a lot of money but actually still bitter about life. It tells me that you find yourself in this hamster wheel, right? You're great, you go to work every day, you wake up, you hate your freaking job, but it pays a lot though, right? Or you go to work, you have to grind over and over and over and over again, but you never get to address this. You never get to address the thing that's in your head, the mental breakdown that mess you up, right? You never get to address it, and you don't have anyone to actually have those type of conversation with. That's why a psychiatrist help. It will help, but you first have to admit that you have a problem. How many people are gonna admit that they are depressed? You think like your woke progressive, I don't know what the fuck got into him today, but he probably already deleted that video. I mean, I'm not sure, he'll probably put it on private or whatever the case may be. But it's not like some type of thing that you could walk up to to your friends, be like, hey, look at that, man, I'm depressed, I'm this, I'm that. No. Especially if your friends are just as fake as you are. If your friends are just as fake as you are, then how can you be real with them? You think like some of these folks, let's say in the manosphere, whatever, right? They walk up to a guy or to another person, be like, look, man, like I'm depressed, I'm this, I'm that, I don't know what to do. Like help me. No, they can't do that, because the funny thing is the same people that they call friends or whatever would actually use that against them. So they cannot trust them enough to actually be real with them. So they might have a lot of acquaintances, they might have a lot of so-called YouTube friends or partners and all that stuff, or whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, they will repeatedly stab each other in the back. Look at all the beef that has been going on in the manosphere. You have Solo versus what's his name? A master teacher. You have this versus that, blah blah blah. So then if you tell anything in confidence with these folks and then you're beefing with them the next day, you don't think they're gonna blur it out? Let it all hang out and all that shit? Of course. So then these are not your friends. These are not your people. How can you have any sort of confidential conversation or where like you are vulnerable? And that's the thing, though, is like, people don't have anyone they can be vulnerable to. So then they are stuck in this loop where they spend most of their life being fake, being a persona. They being having that mask on, and they never take it off. After a while, this shit gets tiring, dog. Trust me. This shit gets tiring when you always have a mask on. When it's like, as soon as somebody says something that you don't like, look at my watch, look at all the bitches I'm getting, dude, that's fake. It's not you. It's not who you think you are. It's not you. It's not. Is that you are trying to be the person that you think everybody wants you to be. Oh, I guess being a man means that you gotta get a lot of pussy. I guess being pro-black means that you gotta hate white people. It's like, dog, it's not you. The real you is the person you are when nobody's watching. The real you is the person that can actually be vulnerable. That's the real you. But all these crazy crap that you be putting online on the comment section and all that, it's not you. It's not. It's not you, and you're not feeling it. You're not fooling anyone. Just, it's bad. Okay, Rail the bad guy. I know that's the thing, man. Yeah, dude, it's tough, man. It is tough, and that's the thing. Those like I said, in my channel, am I an asshole sometimes? Yes, I am. I'm really good at being a dick, but at the same time, it's like we need to have those serious conversation. Like, what do we do about depression? What do we do about some of these things, like, that is plaguing us, that is plaguing our generation? Because the whole point of growing, the whole point is to try to, like the whole point is to actually try not to make the same mistakes as your parents. Because like that's one of the reasons why when I analyze my parents, right? Okay, why did my mom and my dad didn't stay together, right? Why did I have to grow up and I didn't really get to know my dad? Why this and why that? And what I ever like, if you just throw a blanket statement, and that's the thing though, like people don't take their time out to search, to actually find a deeper meaning in life. They just want to have this microwavable answers to their problems, and it's like it's more complex than that. It's like, oh, look at all these pookies running around. It must be all these single moms, right? Boom, that's the answer. That's it. I'm not gonna look at nothing else. It must be it. It must be these bitches, right? Or the other way around. You have this female talking about like, oh, you know what? If it wasn't for you motherfuckers running around and stuff like that, just getting us pregnant, we wouldn't have to raise all these kids by ourselves, blah, 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 right? It's just cookie cutter answers. It's way more complicated than that. And if you're not willing to dig deep and actually like see all the different scenarios and actually analyze each piece of information and understanding it, right? It's like the thing, like I love my dad. I love the things that I was able to learn from him. I love the fact that he took responsibilities and and took care of us, all that stuff, right? So I love him for that. But I also know that the complexity or the mistake that he made, so then therefore I study it and I know that, all right, I'm not gonna try to have more than one family. I just want to have just one. If I'm gonna get a headache, it's gonna be from one woman, not three. It's like, I love my mom with all her faults. She's a hard ass sometimes. She's stubborn as fuck. She just like, sometimes she just but studying the environment, studying like being a single mom in Haiti, where you have like all these crazy things that happen, right? The violence, the this and the that, and then like makes you realize, all right, that's why she was crazy. That's why she was so hard to deal with sometimes. How can I hate her? How? You know? So it's like by analyzing that, but it's like you have all these data, right? You have all this information. By analyzing it, it brings you understanding. And with understanding, then you now able to deal with that person from a whole different light, from a whole different scenario. And the funny thing is, like, also by understanding these people, by understanding your surrounding, you get to know, you get to learn more about yourself. And that is the journey that people don't want to take. That's the journey that is, it's a scary path to go down under. It's a scary path because like you find yourself so vulnerable, having to think about your past, having to think about like some of the things about you that you don't like, some of the things about you didn't even know that you didn't like. And that's the crazy part. It's like, if you're not willing, that's why like having the chance to really think about who you are, that's the whole point of mental growth. That's the whole point of it. Otherwise, you're gonna spend a whole bunch of time try to cope. You're never gonna get out of your depression. Then no matter how many bitches you fuck, no matter how much money you have, no matter like how much you hate white people or whatever, right? Or how much of a history buff you think you are, how much of a pro-black you think you are, or pro this, pro that, whatever the case may be. Like, if you don't start cleaning your own shit, then you're never gonna get out of depression. Never. So when I talk about this shit, it's like, it's not because I'm better than y'all. I'm not. Dude, I could be just as much of an asshole as you. But I know who I am. And I love the person that I'm actually continuously becoming. I love the progress that I'm making in life, right? I even love the hurdles that I come across in life, because like when things happen to me, right? It's like, right? I would get discouraged real quick, but I have great people around me that actually help me get back up. Like, come on, Art, you're stronger than this, blah, 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 right? Dude, like, if I'm down one day, all I gotta do is make a phone call to my girl. Hey, you good? Blah, blah. You know, it's like, oh, what's wrong? We talk about this shit, blah, blah, blah. And vice versa. You know? Or I have other people I can talk to these things about. So it's like, I'm never down for long. You know? It's like, I fall, get back up, get back on track. Right? Step back sometimes, analyze the situation. You know? And it's like, and because I have such awesome people around me, so many good, positive people around me, it makes it hard to be an asshole. That's why sometimes when I get into those little internet beef, and I'm like, yes, finally someone I can be a dick to. You know, and yeah, of course, I need that sometimes. I need someone to wipe my ass with sometimes. You know? It's like, oh, thank you, Mr. Black and Brown Unity. All right, I got you. Come on over here. I was running out of toilet paper, right? So it's like, it's good to have these sometimes, because like, it's fun, you know. You shoot your shit, and after that, you just move on, right? But continue the great path that you're on. Continue to actually continue with the progress. Continue, try to be better than who you were yesterday. That's how you get rid of your depression. That's how. You know, but ragging on people that you don't even know or you don't even care to know just because of their skin color or just because of their gender, just because of some weird characteristic that you don't even understand, or like, you put people in these boxes and thinking that, hey, you know what? Because I'm right, you wrong, and that's all it is. Blah blah blah. It's like, dude, how can you try to change the world when you're not even trying to change yourself? How is that gonna work? It's like, whether you think you're gonna have listen, you think your life will be happy if you get rid of all white people? You think you will be happy if you get rid of all black women? Or for you women out there, you think you'll be happy if you get rid of all black men? No, you wouldn't, because your greatest enemy is the person staring at you in the mirror. That's it. That's your biggest enemy. It's not God. It's not the opposite sex. It's not the different ethnicities. It's, dude, there's so much in life. And I think this is the things, like, when you thinking about, like, all these, like, oh, we're gonna have, like, all black this, all black that, blah blah blah. Just like, bro, you don't understand, like, how beautiful it is to get to learn a different culture, or like a different type of environment. I'm not talking about, like, you just come through and visit. I'm talking about, like, you really take the time to study it, and then you'd be like, all right, this is different, this is different, this is similar to what I know, so on and so, and then you get to analyze that. It's like I've dude, my life is freaking great, man. I lived in 4 different countries. Yeah. Haiti, United States, England, Poland. Yeah. I've had the chance to live in 4 different culture, make friends in 2 different continents. Dude, it's fucking awesome, man. It's like learning a whole new language. Well, 2 new languages. So it's like there's so much about life that is beautiful. I don't have time to be depressed. I don't have time to actually, like, think about, or I don't have time to try to be miserable. Because sometimes you have to try to be miserable, man. And there's so much good things about life where, if you're not focused on the negativity, you're not going to have enough time to learn about all the positivities. That's why I love having conversation with people that actually can inspire me, that I can learn from, that I can, see something different, something that I was missing. And I'm like, it's that's like, it's the exchange, because we are all tradesmen. We are all, like, we are all merchants, right? And what we do, we trade life experience. It's like, someone can tell me about their culture. Like, oh yeah, this is what we do in this is what we do in Mexico. This is what we do in DR. This is what we do in this country, in that country. And I get to tell them about my experience, right? Or there's so much things to learn from each other. And it's like, how can I not be grateful when I know there are people that would actually give their left arm to be in my shoes? And it's like, it's very hard for me. Like, I try really hard to sympathize with a lot of these kids. And the reason why it's so hard for me is because not one of them would want to trade places with someone from Haiti. Not one. Because they know what they have, but they're miserable because they're not who they think they should be. They're miserable because they feel like they should have been a millionaire. They should have been famous. They should have been the next DMX, the next 50 Cent, the next whatever, right? So they're living life through someone else's expectation instead of actually making their own path. And that's what depressed them so much. oh, look at all these white people, they have it so much better. Why could it not be, why could it not just born white? Well, you never know what happened to them. Probably got sexually abused. They probably, parents were like, drug addicts, all of the crazy stuff. Would you really want to be them? Or you just think that they have it better? It's like when these guys talk about, oh, look at all these women, they got all these free shit. It's like they get divorced and this and that, blah blah blah, right? They're like all this crazy shit they throw. It's like, dude, would you really want to be them? Like, you get a kid, guess what? The dad's just gonna, the dads can just leave you with the kid. We don't even have to look back, right? So, like, how great is it to really be a woman? My point is this: everybody goes through shit in life. The thing is that it's not about what you're going through. It's not about what you're going through. It's about how you were able to actually overcome what you went through. That's the difference. That's it. That's the difference. Because courage is not the lack of fear. Courage is not a lack of fear. Like, we are all afraid. We all, like, things happen to us when we were a kid. So we're afraid to making new friends because we might get screwed over, right? Things happen to us in our relationship. We're afraid to trust anyone else because of what happened. That's fear. That's fear speaking. You're afraid to be happy because you're afraid that happiness might be taken away from you. That's the fear talking. Courage is being able to get over that fear. That's it. Try to get over that fear, to know, like, all right, I don't know where this may lead. I was burned in the past before, right? But I'm willing to give it a try. It might work out, it might not work out, but I'm willing to give it a try. That's why, like, I can live my life without regret. Because to me, the biggest failure in life is never trying to do what I wanted to do. That will be a regret for me. But because I tried things, right? And I didn't know it was going to work out. Like, when my daughter came up to me when she was like 4 years old, right? And then she asked me to be her dad. I didn't know it was going to work out. I just say, yeah. Like, dude, I've been in her life since she was like 3 years old. Same thing with my girl. I didn't know it was going to work out with my girl. I didn't know. I gave it a try. It was tough, man. It was tough. Like, all the heartaches, the hardship, the fights, and all this shit. But, dude, like, if I have to do it all over again, I would do the exact same shit. Well, mine is the cheating and stuff like that. I probably wouldn't do that. But still, all the hardship that I went through and that I put her through. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, wow, dude, I fucking love our relationship. Same thing with my friends. Some of the people that I stay or that stuck around, some of the people that we're no longer, we drift apart and all that stuff, right? I was able to learn from them, from that experience. And it's like, dude, life is fucking beautiful, man. It is. It's like, it's beautiful, but it's like a rose with a lot of thorn in them. So you handle it wrong, you're gonna get pricked. But anyway, I think that's it. And so, thank you guys for coming through. I appreciate it. So this is Art Banaka. Share, like, comment, subscribe. I'm out of here. Now I just that was in my head. I just wanted to, like, share these things. All right, guys, peace out. I'm out.